Hello friends, time for a little bit of a different video. Super sorry I did not get a chance to record this live. We did everything on twitch.tv and it was a wacky and wild night. We had a lot of fun. Holy crap, what a good time. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video than I normally do. This is my Crucible roundup. We went against Agent Zero, friend of the channel, usually hanging out pretty much every Crucible night. Just kind of, chilling. Obviously, we really enjoy Zero's company. And Zero has some crazy defenses, right? So we take a look at this. We had a CB Emma X Phoenix Force Odin in one. Super tricky, not very straightforward. The raid room was a little bit of an alpha flight concoction, right? We've got Sasquatch and North Star with old Emma and Songbird with Mephisto. What a wild combination that was. I thought for sure we were going to be able to one-shot it with Starjammers. We're going to get into why that didn't work. And then, of course, we got the APOC, Iron Patriot, Thanos, GGC, Black Knight in here. But we're going to get into each room by room. As you can see, we two-tapped this one. We brought in Professor X. We had a lot of chatter. We talked so much about this fight. Turns out, somehow, amongst all of the talking in Twitch chat, we all collectively kind of thought like, oh, Songbird's going to put defense down. Well, guess what? It's actually offense down that goes on Odin. So guess what? The trauma doesn't work, right? As we take a look at this, unable to stun him. Trauma doesn't land. We need a defense down in order for it to land. Then Professor X, by the time Professor X takes a turn, it's just too late at this point in time. So we special here on Omega Red, Phoenix Force. So this one's obviously just a little bit different. Now with defense down, those three are able to get trauma. We took a look at this. APOC just gets one shot. I mean, oh, too many vulnerables here. If I had to go back and do it, I might make everybody healers in this fight. That might have actually been a slightly better chance because there's just too many vulnerables. So Shadow King's going to go ahead and perform a little bit of an ability block over here on Emma. That kills the Omega Red. A ping there from the Shadow King. We still haven't landed any extra vulnerables. The Cyclops summon, we go right there on Odin, ends up taking out Emma X. And then here's where things go really, really bad. Odin with 6 vulnerables on him right now, not looking great. We've also got Professor Xavier over there, who happens to have offense down, but this just takes him out. Full health. This swipe right here is going to take out Xavier at 17 million health. This is insane right here. So the basic goes on to Songbird, no big deal. Odin is now going to basic, and this takes out Professor Xavier. That is wild. 17 million health, friends. So we ulted on Black Cat to get the last charge off of him right here, which was probably a bad idea with the way that the vulnerables stacked up. So he ends up with 3 vulnerables on him to do the ult, which is obviously enough to wipe out us. And that ended this attempt pretty easily. So it's super neat. I should have thought about that a little bit better. Maybe less vulnerables on Odin would have been a little bit nicer, but alas, here we are. The cleanup went really easy. We won in like 2 or 3 hits. Gohori went, Old Man Logan assist. I won't show it, but it cleaned up pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and take a look at this fight. This was an interesting one that we brought in Starjammers for. Thought we were going to be able to make it work. We started with the ult here, right on Sasquatch, because we had to. This was the big challenge. We were really stuck behind Sasquatch more than I wanted to be, right? So then Songbird go ahead and ults on our team, and we just get stuck with this offense and defense down. It was just a tragic mess at this point in time. So Havoc going is fine right here. I'm sorry, Howard going is fine. Again, we just didn't quite get past the Sasquatch here. Super challenge, right? Not doing a whole lot of damage over here. And then we got a Mephisto Pact, really weakens us with the Exhausted, obviously. Now we eat the North Star ult, and we've got trauma and many layers of these buffs. It was pretty rough. We get an ult from the Landra, which takes out old Emma. And here's where we make a mistake here, right? I think we never got rid of this Sasquatch as soon as we could get back to him, unfortunately. We really, really should have, right? So we specialed on Mephisto. Now, right here is immediately, we should have went over here. We should have went over to him as soon as we could have. He basicked on Havoc, and this is right now when we should have. So we specialed on Songbird, so Songbird wouldn't stun, or just to attempt to stun Songbird. It didn't work. We 100% should have went after Sasquatch, right? So that was probably the mistake that definitely cost us the match. We're already losing people left and right, so obviously that was no good. But the fact that we get through this and we get down to just having a couple characters left to kill here, it was a little strange when we take a look at what happens with Sasquatch. So as we keep going, we healed up, right? So we've got the Gladiator, we've got the Lalandra. We're fighting through this, right? Like, it is something that we're still fighting through. When the Lalandra takes a turn here, we actually do some decent damage here. Once we get back around to Lalandra's turn. So we based it on Sasquatch. I'm super sorry. We just got stuck on him the whole way. Yeah, I was thinking we did a little bit better. The next fight is a little bit more interesting, but there it is. So we just keep basicking and back and forth. This fight was a little tragic, I'm not going to lie. We eat the ult there. Lalandra and Groot. I mean, look, we've got a lot of sustain here, right? We just ate Mephisto's ult. We're trying to get through it. This one was a mess, I'm not going to lie. This one was a mess. So no matter what would have happened at this point in time, even if we win, it would have been a super sloppy cleanup. So, even it was a super sloppy fight, not cleanup. So, yeah, there's just so many more fights. This thing goes on and on and on and on. So our sustain ended up being better than we, thought it could be. But getting back over to Songbird's ult again felt really good, making sure that she wasn't going to open with the ult at least. And we go ahead and get through it. So Groot's about to die. Finally, it just does take so long right here. We pulled Songbird's special, which is great. And there's the end of the replay. So wild match. Starjammers did not work the way that I had anticipated it. I think had we killed Sasquatch when we had the opportunity, things might have went slightly differently, but it did not go the way that we expected, sadly. So we cleaned up with Vigilantes. It was a couple hits. I don't know if Vigilantes would have beat this right off the bat. I don't think it would have, but if we see this room again, we're definitely going to give it a shot. So, yep, we got the ultimate pact, and then Mephisto specials into us, and then we got the basic from Songbird, and then Silver Sable goes, and this is where the match really turns around. Our team starts to go. We ulted on North Star for the stun. It actually just took him right on out. Then we were back on Mephisto to make sure no crazy shenanigans happened, and then Punisher on Sasquatch takes them all out. So it ended really, really quickly. That was a tough one. Really, really tough match. So shout out to Zero for some crazy defenses for sure. And then the last fight is we took in Cabal, Gore, and Null into this team. This one's Black Knight. We got Thanos Endgame, Apocalypse, which makes that first hit not land anything. Like, we knew we were going into it, that it was going to just be a rough one, but that's exactly what happened. So they start with vulnerables. So their speed won't be there. No empowered to APOC. Good news there. We ult. The damage is pretty nice here, right? So the damage, which does, max health, really good. Iron Patriot is just about dead. The sad news for us, though, is they get all those retaliates, right? Like, that's a big problem. So we go ahead and special, try to take off these buffs from our team. I'm sorry, debuffs, and move them, if we can, away from us. Obviously, Black Knight just retaliates and goes right back. There we go. We go ahead and use a Carnage basic right here to get Green Goblin, get rid of Green Goblin. And then we get right back over here after the APOC ult. So again, he ults, but no empowered right there. We go after it with a basic. We're trying to not touch Thanos Endgame right now, right? Like we're just trying to not touch him. So we get a little lucky there. He goes after Carnage. Null then bites the dust. And then we ult right here. Said, you know what? Let's just see what we can do. Try to get rid of the barrier. Try to get rid of the speed. The max health is really helping it here. Like the max health is actually very helpful at this point. We never triggered his passive. We were able to kill him off the assist there, and that ended it. But either way, our defense was completely one shot. So shout out to Zero. Excellent work. I'm super sorry we couldn't get you the video you deserve, Zero. But this is the recap video. I wanted to make sure that I got this out there for y'all. Hopefully you enjoy. Super sorry it's not our standard gameplay, but it didn't work out that well today. We had a lot of fun live on Twitch, and I forgot to record some of the fights. Trying to download the VOD and edit and everything else. This was the best way I could get this content to you right now. So, many apologies. We will be better tomorrow, 100%. But for now, take care. You'll have a wonderful day or evening, depending on what time you're watching this. And remember, insert catchline, catchphrase here.